Hello, everyone. Thank you. Good morning to those in the morning like me or afternoon. Thank you all for joining this new live session of Customily. For those coming new today, uh, we hope these live sessions will be a new way, new space for all of you to learn Customily and to get familiarized with the tools as well as get inspired by the products we use and we example here and get started on the app right away. Most of you installed the app quite recently and are either getting started with your store from scratch or beginning the process of selling personalizable products on an existing store. For both cases, we have the perfect tool to get started. Great. So, Customily is an app that provides your store, this is my store, with live previews of products, along with options that your customers can interact with, changing those live previews with every interaction. So from text typing, and I remembered this example the other day. You see, text inputs, for example, will automatically change the live preview, and also from text typing to clip art selection or image uploading, your preview will change live and give you a realistic example of how your customization will look on the product. In this particular case, this anniversary place that I'm showing you, you can actually type the bride and the group's name and the date, but also if any chance you're celebrating 50th anniversary, you may be celebrating 25th anniversary or 75th anniversary. Who knows? This is on platinum weddings, if I'm not mistaken. So you can create how many things you want to customize of your product. In this other example we have here, this is a laptop sleeve that we decided to customize with your pet. And the options that we have here start off with selecting the pet. If you're a cat person or a dog person, and for example, if you have a cat, you will have a lot of cats, actually 107 cats to select, but you may want to not see all 107 right away. So you have categories in which you can preview styles like this. After you selected the cat that looks better like your own pet, you can rename that and accessorize this cat with something more into your likings and your styles, for example. So this is a really quick personalization of a product. And this is done by loading a template on the page, as well as the options of that template. Now, these two elements are created in Customily, the template and the option set. And that's what we're going to learn today. Now, one thing that I want to talk about also is Customily 2.0. This is our latest update for Shopify stores, which allows you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. Those starting your stores from scratch will have more interest in this section because now you can choose a product directly from a print-on-demand supplier, add a design to it, and get it published in your store. All is done from Customily app, actually. And also, with the print-on-demand services that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated. This means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and the ready-to-print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically for fulfillment and shipping. Now, another interesting feature for Shopify users is the free access to Customily's design libraries. An example of this is the dogs that I showed you, and the dogs and the cats as well. This means that you can find designs that are ready to use and sell, or you can use those exclusive clip arts and create your own art. So to summarize what Customily 2.0 can do for you, there are four different paths that you can explore with this. You can work with a print-on-demand supplier who has its own product catalog and add any design from Customily's library to it. This is the fastest path, the one that allows you to have published products ready to sell in minutes. You can work with a print-on-demand provider, but choose to add your own designs to their products. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. Now we're going to get into this particular path today. Also, on the other hand, if you have your own products and are not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start by populating your product-based library first. After you have your own product mockups, you can choose to add a design from Customily's library to them and create and publish the product really fast. Or you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. This is the path that involves more time, but once you have all your product mockups and all your designs set up, it's just a mix and match game that you'll be able to create and launch new products in seconds. So let's start from the beginning. Imagine I'm a Shopify store owner. I want to start selling personalized products and just install Customily to try it out. Here we are in the main menu of Customily. You can see at the left bar that we have 6 sections. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools, and the other 3 sections are the main core of Customily. You can explore, manage, and create your templates, upload and organize your assets in libraries, color libraries, fonts, vectors, and images. And you can see all your connected products in the store section, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front-end experience of your customers. Today, we are going to create the products I showed you at the beginning. We are going to create this pet laptop sleeve using a print-on-demand provider, and we are going to create this design using Customily 2.0 tools. Now, on the other side, we'll create this anniversary parade from scratch. We are going to build the template on our own. We're going to, Customily will create the options later, and we'll connect this template to an existing product on our store. So as you can see, there's no need for you to create new products constantly. That's what Customily 2.0 will do for you when you are starting brand new and you want to populate your store. But if you're starting from an existing store, you can always go straight to your templates, create them using your input from your own products and connect them to the existing products. And we're going to see both examples today. Okay, so let's start in the start section here. Now here you can see you will have access to the print-on-demand providers that are currently integrated with us. And as you can see, those that have the automatic fulfillment note under them means that they have their API connected to Customily. So whenever you sign up to Customily and you are also have an account from any of these, you can actually connect your API from your account into Customily and ensure you have an automatic fulfillment. This is going to save you a lot of time because you will eliminate the manual process of grabbing the order information, sending that to the POD, or actually downloading the file and sending the file over to fulfillment. So that saves you a lot of time. And as you can see, we are working with most of the most popular and powerful PODs right now. Also, you have direct access to your design libraries and to your product mockups. We are preparing a live session especially for product bases or product mockups, so you will know how this tool works. But we're going to work also on my designs today because, as I mentioned, we want to create a design and put that design on a POD product. So what we're going to do now first is we're going to check out our PODs. I'm going to select, for example, Printful. Okay, and we were thinking about creating this laptop sleeve. So as you can see, this is the Printful catalog. There's a lot of products available. If you are interested in selling some particular product from Printful that is not on Customily yet, all you need to do is write to support email and request that product. We're going to be adding that right away. We need obviously to connect our API to their product and be able to fit everything with the mockups and the print areas. So whenever you select a product and you create that product, everything works perfectly for you. So we're going to select laptop sleeve. And as you can see, you have two sizes to select. We're going to just pick the 15 inches size and go next. Now here, this is where you're going to select either your designs or Customily designs. A quick overview of Customily designs will show you that we have a lot of designs, and we keep adding more oriented to holidays, occasions, certain themes like couples, dads, dogs, seasons, on graduations. So you can pick any of them. And actually, if you click on all, you will see the categories. You will see, I don't know, mom, or even jewelry, cars, or siblings, anything that you want will probably be here. Now, the cool thing about this is whatever design you pick once and the product is created, all these clip arts and assets will be stored on your Customily user. So you will have free access to the dogs, the cats, and anything related to clothing, backgrounds. Everything will be available for you to play around and create your own designs. That's the amazing part of this new feature. But I'm not going to be using Customily designs. I'm going to be creating my own design. So since I didn't create my design yet, I'm going to go to navigate to my shortcut here of my designs and create a new design from scratch. Now, the first thing we're going to set up is the name. We're going to call the live session pet pet with accessory, like that. Create design. By default, you will get a square canvas to work with, really big, 1 by 1 meter. Usually because square designs fit better on all proportions. But if you know you're going to be using this design on vertical products or horizontal products or in any particular proportion, you can always resize and select your unit and edit the page. And this is Customily's Design Studio. As you can see, you have a blank canvas, but you have a lot of tools to play with. You can create text box and curved text box that will allow your customers to input their own text and see that change live, like we did on this plate. These are text inputs created in Customily. Within these text boxes, you will be able to add fonts and colors and adjust sizes. Also, another feature we have here are placeholders. Image or vector placeholders are objects that will allow you to, let me just type something here. See how, this is just to test it out and see how it looks. You can create, for example, image placeholders, which are blank objects that your customers will use to upload their own images. So for example, you see that we have a button here to try with an image. So I can actually upload something like this particular mockup. And this is not going to stay on the design. This is just for me to test what the customer will do. And this is great for any product that involves image uploading or photo uploading. As you recall, last live session, we did a product with this focus. For those that are new to these live sessions, please check our YouTube channel to check out our last episodes and see what we're talking about, because it's really amazing all the things we have done so far in just 3 live sessions. Now, another thing we can actually add to our designs is a map. This map object actually allows customers to pick any location, and we can actually start with an initial location. And also later, you'll be able to change or select many map styles to play with, like something like this. But this is just one, but you can have many all together, and Customily will pick that information and create all the options for your customers to select. Finally, a really powerful tool we have is dynamic images and vectors. These objects can hold a lot of images. As you recall, I mentioned we have 107 cats and 184 dogs for the product we're going to be creating. Imagine managing all that. I mean, you cannot create all those images, all those objects. You create one object that will hold them all together. And you can upload them in bulk or one by one, or you can also have them inside a library. And that's what we're going to be doing now. I'm going to keep this open and be able to open a new tab with Customily by clicking with the mouse wheel. And you will see now I have a second tab that I can explore within Customily. I'll go to libraries, and like I said, here you can manage your color libraries, your fonts and vectors and images. A library will help you put together a lot of information that you know will repeat across many products. For example, your colors. You have a color palette or a set of inks that you want to offer, and you want that to be sustained across all products, correct? So you create that color collection once, and then you assign that to any design or to any template, and it will show on the front end. Now, if you later want to add more colors and update the library, that update will go across all products using this library and automatically update with the new option, not only on the template, but on the front end and the options. So this is really handy when you want to, in the future, expand or change existing values. Same goes with the fonts, and same goes with the vectors and images. Now, in the images, I have a lot of libraries so far, but I'm interested in showing you how did we create the dogs and the cats. So I'm going to search for the dog library and check out the first one, the full color frontal dogs. I'm going to edit this. And you see, because I have so many dogs, I cannot put all 184 dogs right on the front, because it's going to be really too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to categorize the dogs so I can split all those quantities in more manageable quantities, like 15 to 20 dogs each category. So I decided to split my dogs into ABC's categories, and my cats were in the hairstyle category, right? But basically what I did was created the categories before uploading images. So I created all these categories, uploaded a thumbnail so I can identify them on the front end, and inside each category, I loaded the images I wanted to show for that category. Now, Customily will grab all this information and put together the options for you. It will create this first option, and then it will create that each group of cats will show depending on the category. So it's, as long as you upload the information in the order you want to present that, Customily will understand that and put together the final view for you. Now, what I'm going to do now is create with you a new library that's going to be used for the accessories that we're going to be working with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going back to image libraries and create a new library called pet accessories. And I'm going to create that. When created, the library goes to the last page. Yeah, and I get to see that here. So I can edit this library, and I could add categories, but right now I have very few assets, and so I don't want to categorize this. I just want to add images. I'm going to start off with in the first position and upload the images that I want. In this case, these options. Remember to keep a nice name for the products, because this name will later show up here. I'm going to show you where. This is going to upload 5 files on the way. And of course, you can change this name, but if you have the name on the file already, it's going to be really fast and you don't have to double change this. Later, when you are going through this, the tooltips that pop up will show that name. So it saves you a lot of time, looks nice on the front end, and it's all done here in Customily. So now that we have this library, let's create the product. Let's go back to our design and start off with this image, this dynamic image we created. We're going to keep this on this size right now, and here we're going to be putting the dogs first. So I'm going to pick a library, and I'm going to find the dog library, select the dog, and well, the first position is empty because by default you don't want that, you want anything showing until you start playing with the customization. But here you can see a dog. You can see dog number 2. You can preview dog number 20, dog number 184 if you want, like that. Okay, so now that we have the dogs, let's find something really kind of a big dog, like a German Shepherd or something, or a Greyhound, something that would be really big. Picking all small ones, what I can say. See, for example, it's nice to preview the big dogs and the big cats because it's going to help you resize fields. So I believe the on the G, there was a German Shepherd with a really pointy ears. That is important to check out. Always look for that. But if it's nothing there, it's probably a Labrador stuff. I'm going to just go for the 100 and see how that is. So this is our dog, correct? And we want to add the object next to the dog. So I'm going to create a new dynamic image. It's going to be here. And I'm going to pick the library that we just created, the pet accessories. Here you go. I'm going to select. So I get to see the boombox first. Yeah. And I'm going to place this somehow nice next to our dog. Now, looking fine right now. We are pretty much ready, but we want to also create like the bone tag. Now, the bone tag, this is very important. It's just one image that will show depending on if you select dog or cat. So we need to do a Customily hack that I like to call, and that is to create a new dynamic image. But because we're going to just put an image, one image, now, Customily will not be able to do swatches and changing stuff, and it's going to be offering anything. So we need to put that ourselves. And because we don't want things to show always on the first position because they show all together by default, we are going to skip the first position, go to the second one, and upload the bone. So far, I would like to understand to know if you are clear on this. I'm pretty sure you're going to understand this later, but just so you know, whenever Customily loads, it loads clean, and whenever you select the dogs or the cats, it will show the bone or the sign with the paws. Now, I would like to know if you are okay with this. If you have any questions about this so far. Okay, great. So as you can see, the dog is right on top, so that's not nice. Let's rename all our layers. Let's go to the bone here. This one was the dog accessory, and this one is the dog actually. So dog breed, because inside this there are many breeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the bone all the way down. You see, I'm just dragging this and putting this so it looks nicer. Yeah, I can actually preview other accessories. Yeah, or preview other dogs. It's nice to preview many options to see what the customer may customize later. I think I'm going to shrink this a bit because I'm thinking that this may interfere with the text I'm going to put, which is the name of the dog. So far, we have the bone tag, we have the dog, we have the accessories. We're going to add a text here, and this text we're going to type something like, this is going to be positioned wherever I want in here. We can resize this so it stays in one place like this. Okay, and we are going to play around with the font. Now I selected the font for this, which is the Aloha, but clearly it's really small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to, I don't know, for example, 100. You see now it's looking better, but we can actually keep making this bigger. Now I'm going to keep it like this until I finish off the sizing of everything. Now we have the dog all together. I'm going to call this dog name. This is very important because whatever you type on the layer will show up here. You see as cat name, cat accessory. So if you already put this in the design, it's going to carry out to the product and save you a lot of time. So all these together are for the dogs. So I'm going to select all these together and create a layout. This will group my layers in a specific group, and Customily will understand that I'm changing designs and will later do all the automatic swappings. So like this, like select your cat, dog, your pet will be a cat or a dog. So I'm going to change this to dog, and we're ready to go. Now let's create the the cat. So let's hide this just for a second so we work comfortably. Create a new dynamic image, which will be the cat breed. Oops. We'll select the library like before. Preview some cat. Okay, and next to the cat, we are going to create a new dynamic image that will be the cat accessory. We're going to pick the library that we created, which is accessory. Yes. Reshape this to be more into what the cat it looks like, and we're going to do the same trick we did with the bone, but for the paws. Sorry, like it's not a paw, actually it's like bell, like the bell on the belt of the cat. So I'm going to create a dynamic image, skip the first position, go to the second position, and find these paws that are not paws. You see it's like a bell. So I'm going to put this here and shape it up to cover pretty much both objects. Bring it down so this shows nicer. Check out how other graphics preview. Yeah, that looks perfect. And this one will be like that. We need to change this to bells, so I know what I'm talking about. And the text that we're going to create will be positioned here. We're going to change that to this shaping up like this, and this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the font again, which is Aloha, and keep it like this for now. Now, right now I have one layout, but these ones should go layout. So let me see, cat name. And we're going to grab all this together and create a new layout. Now I have two layouts, And let me open this. And you see, whenever I select one layout, it will show the right information from that layout, and the other will show like this. So now I'm going to resize this, and I'm going to skip down like this. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can from the canvas, but keeping some space here because of the pointy ear breeds. I'm going to center this corresponding to the workspace like that. And okay, so that's enough for the dog. Very important. Now that we have the final size, we're going to find a points that are actually well. For example, 420. Yeah, that looks perfect. It's kind of a bit more than what I'm able to put together. This is what I'm able to match here, but maybe that would be nice. Now, the minimum size, imagine if you keep typing and typing and typing, and we have, well, some dog called this. You see, I can keep typing and typing, and it gets really small until it's like this. Now, this is unprintable and unreadable. So we need to set a minimum size as well. So customers at some point will be stopped somehow. So, for example, 300 could be a good size. As you can see right now, this is 300, or maybe 250 if you plan to have a really long name. But now that is stopping at some point because it will not be printable or attractive, to say so. Now this is the dog layout. Now let's check out the cat. The cat, actually, we need to make it bigger as well. Now the idea will be to try and match this so you can actually select both layouts and see them overlapping. Yeah, that sounds a bit right. Now let's only select the cat and make it a bit bigger and center this. Yeah, I'm pretty much we're pretty much there. We can just open that up and all set to go. Now the same goes here. We would like to set our minimum size to 250. Oh wait, I have a maximum size, so this will be like a fixed size. What if I go all the way here and this one here and I preview? That sounds a bit right. So these are my limits. Let me just match one and the other. And now you have. And you see both dogs and cats, yeah, like that, but you will always swap. And this is your design and everything is ready to go. So we're going to save this and start working on our product. Remember, we have a laptop sleeve ready to go. One thing you can do when you go to My Designs is to check out your collection so far, and you see for each design that you have all the options ready to go. The options, if you remember, are this. So Customily created everything for you right here in the options, but maybe you want to do some changes to the options before you create the product. It will save you time, and if you're going to be repeating this design on many products, it will save you tons of time. So I'm going to click on Edit Options and see how they look. You see, it's pretty fast considering all the 100, well, almost 300 images. It's pretty much there. So you see, the first option is the layout. The layout is where you are going to be selecting either cat or dog. The layout is a really ugly word, so we're going to change that label to select your pet, for example. Now, when you are click on select your pet, you get to see dog or cat. And all the rest of the swatches and the options, like picking the dog breed and seeing the categories here. Yeah, Customily created everything based on your thumbnails. For the A, you have all the dogs here, the Afghan and all those, B, C, and so on until the end. Then you select the accessory, as you can see here, and you have the boombox and everything working. Now, the great thing is Customily already matched the object in the design and already created a condition. So these options will show only when you pick dog. And that's automatically done by Customily, including the dog name, actually. Now we have the cat breed, we have all these hairstyles and stuff, and then we have the accessories and the cat name, and that's it. So, for example, let's say I want to actually type the name first. All I need to do is drag this all the way up to the top obviously not before the pet, but the first thing will be the name and then the breed. And the cat will do exactly the same. And there you have it. So this will behave perfectly. Nothing else needs to be done. We're going to save the option set, but just one thing, another hack that we need to do. Remember, we put together the signs on the second position. And this is really, really important because right now the bell and the bone will not show. Will not show because there's no instruction for them to show. And this is a nice trick. You can ask any questions if not clear, but you can add options. And adding options is really amazing because you can personalize all the path your customer will do. I'm going to create an option. The option should be something that controls the images. For example, the images I want to control would be either drop downs or swatches. Let's go with the drop down. It's really so we don't have to upload any image, and this will trigger the bone. Yeah. So we don't want to see this actually. This is like an internal instruction for our options. So we're going to hide this. And I'm going to double check on my design really quickly to see where should I be calling this? Where should I be putting this instruction? This instruction should be, and I'm going to show you here, this instruction should be on the dog, obviously, and on the bone. The bone is the image number 3. So I come here and I tell this, okay, so let's find the dynamic image number 3 and trigger the option. Yeah, this is the bone view, right, where you can see the bone. And remember, this is on the second position. Make this selected, and magically the bone will show up because we have told Customily that it has to find this image, find this position, and load it by default. When, and that's the condition, when you select the dog. It is all manually done, yes, but it's also the best way to hide or show one single images depending on your design. This is really useful because that way you don't have to constrain your designs whether it's male or female and you want to change the background, or dog or cat and you want to change the sign. You don't have to constrain that to a single image that has to be there all the time. You can create single images and have them changed within the layout by creating this small instruction that is not showing at all, and really fast clone it and trigger the bell. Now the bell, if you recall, is for the cat. So let me check on the cat layout. The bells will show are on the image number 7. So I just come here, change this to 7, and make sure that we load this with the cat. Nothing else has to be done. That's it. But now we make sure everything is working perfectly. So now we go back to the beginning. We are going to create a new product. Remember, we actually have the product running here. Wait, no, sorry. Yeah. We're going to create a new product. We wanted to create something on Printful, if you recall, was the laptop sleeve here in the 15 inches. And now we are ready to go and pick our designs, our live session pet with accessory. So now Customily starts to work. It's going to create the listing on the new product on your store, a new listing. It's going to connect that listing to Printful. Printful is going to send us the print area, the mockups, all through API, all the sizes and what pricing as well sometimes, or whatever information you need to create a product from Printful will be right there. And then Customily puts the design on top of all those items. So it will put the design on the print area, and will also put the design on the mockup. And this is the mockup. This is our variants if you have one or more, and these are our options. You see, select your pet is what we created, and we have cat and dog. So when the cat is selected, the cat and the sign are showing up, the name is showing up, and the right options will be right where we are. So we can pick a book, change the cat, change the categories as well, and everything will be working right off. And the same goes with the dog. Remember that we changed it to the dog, and instead of loading the bells, we're going to be loading the bone, like this. And the name is like that. So I like this image. I'm going to showcase this customization on my store. So I'm going to click on Save This as a product image, and it's automatically replacing your listing photo right away. Another thing you can do as a shortcut to going to Shopify is here, edit the product details. So I can actually call this live session laptop sleeve. I can change the price. I can change the description and save it again and publish. So when I publish this, and this is my listing photo, and these are my options. So whenever I click on cat, I can start working, changing anything and playing around with this. And the product is ready to sell. Nothing else has to be done. Now, on the back end of Customily, what we can do is see what Customily created. Customily created unique files for this product. What we created here, what was created was a new template that can be seen if you see the last modified. This is the new template, the laptop sleeve. If you open this, you will see that the print file is the design on the print area that Printful sent us. Okay, here you can see everything you created on your design is working here. And if you go to the next step, you will see that as well the design has been placed on top of a product, and you have actually a mask that also came through the API, which shows something like this, which is really great when you have like background colors and stuff. So the center is transparent and the rest is not, and you see this. So this is put together by Customily automatically. There's nothing else you need to do. But if you want to tamper on this and change the mockup or change the background or whatever, you can do so within the template and go straight to your product live. Nothing else, but you will always have full access to whatever has been created automatically. Also, if you go to the store and if you go to link products, you will see that now you have this live session here. No, live session laptop sleeve. Maybe I need to sync, which sometimes happens, and then you will see the new product here. You have the live session pet laptop sleeve here. You will see when you click here that you have the template connected and the options. The options are exactly what we created in the first place, just working for you right on the front end. So now that we made a product really fast and really well, we are going to give you a moment if you want to ask any questions before going to the other product, but it's going to be faster, I promise. Okay, let's go through the other path we talk about. I have a live product on my store. I sell my own products, okay, and I want to connect a new personalization to the existing product. So as you know, my product is this anniversary plate, okay. This is what I sell right now, and now I have the power to personalize everything within this. So I have my own files, okay. I have, and let me show you quickly my my print file, which is black because it's going to be associated with an ink later. This is my EPS base file that I have already because I have a product, and I took a mock-up and put it ready to go without the things I want to customize. And that's the final mockup that I'm going to be putting my personalized stuff on top. Okay, so these are all the 2 assets that I need. So I'm going to Customily now, and I'm not going to be following the 2.0 steps because I have a product already on my store. So I'm going straight to templates, and I create a new template. First things first, I need to rename this template. I'm going to call this the live session template. Okay. And yes, I can set up a blank canvas. Okay. But that will be typing the width and the height and the units. But what if I already have my base file ready to go? I know I have something that is ready to print, and all I have to do is add some extra items or some custom items. So there's an option here to upload a file and start off with a base file. In this case, an EPS file. Customly can work with EPS, can work with PNGs and JPEG without any problem. So the canvas will pick the size of the print file, and you have the cutting marks and the print edges and the bleed and stuff, and you have everything else ready to be customized. So how are we going to customize this? We're going to create text boxes. The first one will be for the bride and groom names. That was my typo. Yeah, and this probably will be somewhere in here, probably going to be smaller like this, cover like an extension to this point and this. Yeah. So for the fonts, I'm going to pick a nice looking font, which is this one. I really like this one. Okay. Probably going to restrain the size so it doesn't get shrinks, because we don't want that particular effect. So I'm going to fix a special size for this and play around with this, like I said. Yeah, perfect. So it looks nice, and you can keep typing, and it's going to reach the end of the box and fix, because we have one single size. So that way people can keep things in specific size. So now I'm going to create the date. Now for the date, the best way to go is to actually copy this, because we have we have the font, and we have the size and the color. Everything is ready to go. So I just click on the object, hit Ctrl+C, and I can hit Ctrl+V to paste outside, or I could hit Ctrl+B, as in bat, to paste on top of the existing one. So that way I can easily just move this down and make sure they're aligned. You can always align them with the tools, but it's really fast like this. So this one is going to be the date. Finally, we want to add the number, because we wanted this to be available for any occasion. So we're going to create a new text box. We wanted this to have 50 to be like the reference. It's going to be somewhere in here, but and you can keep the size like this. It doesn't matter, because if you control the character size, we'll not have any problem with bigger bigger boxes. The font I want to use is the Century Schoolbook. And the size I'm looking for, I can play around with this, but it's going to be really big, up about, I think, 90. Yeah, and that looks nice. I can actually put this here, fix this to be always 90. Yeah, and one thing that I recommend is play around with some numbers, because some numbers can be really evil, like this. You may want to just separate things, play around with others. Yeah, we're really at the edge, so yeah, so it seems like we should actually reduce this a bit and move this just a second so it doesn't touch anything. Oh, You see, Customily will always check if something is not right on the design. So now that we have things ready, we just go and click next to, well, we're going to save this in EPS, but you can always export in vector formats or image formats. So print file ready, go to the preview section. Now in the preview section, we have our mockup. So we are going to upload that image as a background. And remember, is this one. And now we have the text elements and we have the name and the number and stuff. So, well, I didn't put this. So, years, I'm going to put this. I think I call this something like years celebrated. I like that better. So years. Excellent. So we're going to test this as 50. If you recall, when we designed the print, we actually have all these free text elements working together in a proportion. So I suggest that if we're going to be resizing this to fit the design, we should actually resize them all together. And our number would be the reference, and the rest will be like that. Apparently, it's not a perfect fit what we're doing here, but probably because of the mockup that I selected. We can actually just make it work for now, and that's it. One thing we want to do is, you see, we're going to be printing in black, but we want this to show with the final ink. So one thing we can do is select the color for the preview and pick this. Like that. Yeah. And the same goes with this text. Okay. And with this text. So it's going to preview in the right ink, even if it prints black. This is all you need for your dish, your plate design. You can double check how it looks on the final review before you save the template. Yeah. Apparently, well, I moved this not the right way. It's not centered, which is not the right thing to do. But one thing you can do is save and return to center things later. Yeah, the A seems to be correct. I was my bad to adjust this. But I'm going to save this, okay, for the sake of the exercise. But you can always return. You can adjust things on the print, make it, update the preview as well, really fast. Now that we have the product ready, we are going to connect it with a Shopify product. Like I said, I have a product. I have a plate waiting for this design, this live session anniversary plate. When I find this product on my store, I don't have any template or options connected. I don't have anything at all. So the first thing I do is I choose a template. I find my new template. And Customily wants me to decide if I want to create the options from scratch or say not now because I have them already created. I will create the options and have Customily do all the work for me, like that. So now I'm going to save this. And one thing I can do is just keep it like this and go with this small eye icon and preview this on my store. Yeah, so we have the bride and groom names, the date, and the years celebrated. We're going to start typing something like, and you see it's out, it's populating here really well. We're going to type something like this, and the years celebrated will be 50. Now, what if we want to start off with 50? We can actually do that. We go back to Customily here, we click to open the option set, we find the years here, open this, and here we can actually do some adjustments. For example, we can start with an initial value, which can be 50. Yeah, so it's going to display 50 by default. That's actually useful when you wanted to know where the number is going to be. But also, we don't want customers typing letters and stuff, so, or going through the bigger box. So let's top this, set a maximum of 2 characters in length, and restrict this to be only numbers with no spaces. I'm going to save this and refresh. So now we have a better preview. We have a limit here that we cannot play with. Okay, 50 will show by default, and you can change it, but you can change it with numbers. You cannot type letters like you hear I'm doing, and that's it. That's how you can control. You can set a number of characters here as well, or also here. You can even suggest how you want the date to be typed. So you go to date and you say, so nice thing will be as a placeholder to type December dot 24th and comma the year. Yeah, so this is the format that you suggest. They can type anything they want, but it's nice to open this and go to customize and find a suggestion here that is not showing. It's not showing on the front. It's just a suggestion. You can type anything you want, but if you delete, the placeholder is there, and it's really interesting when you want something looking nice, but not going straight to the preview. Okay. Don't hesitate to reach us via email. You can find that we have a live chat in the app on office hours. We have Facebook communities, and our YouTube channel will also have all these live sessions recorded and posted for you to review later. I really hope you engage in suggesting new products for upcoming live sessions. We are getting a lot of feed on this, and people like this, so we're going to keep on that. And I personally thank you all for joining us today. I hope to see you next Tuesday and sessions to come. Have a great weekend, everyone, and thank you for being with us today. Bye bye.